serious, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden he's back on the court. What's going on with him?
He's fine. He's
Okay.
good. I think it just was a little bit scary. I guess scared him more than it didn't. But just tweaked it a little bit, but nothing serious. We had all the imaging and stuff done, so he should be good.
Did that surprise you at all? Just seeing him run back out of the locker room just a minute later.
No, I've known him half his life, so once he knew he was okay, I knew he'll be back in the game.
How important was, I mean, how big was that win to win at FSU? What did that mean to this team and going into this final stretch here?
Well, it's important because usually and normally, and now with the league being so different, but we play them twice a year. Usually, don't get the opportunity to get uh, your lick back when someone beats you. So just have the opportunity to come back and beat them. And then for me and for us, and our messaging for the game was like they didn't get to see the real us. And then saying that they really didn't get to see the real us there either. But we were able to pull out the win and play. And there's just all wins are big. You know what I mean? I think what added to it is a team you lost to before, a team that been playing really good and kind of been hot. And then to go on the road in a rivalry, hostile environment and pull it out is always impressive.
You talk about getting your lick back. You got Boston College trying to accomplish that.
Yep.
What stands out about them? They just broke their 8-game losing streak. So
Yep.
what's scary about them coming in?
They're one of the best defensive teams in the conference, and they have been the whole year. They have great size. They have a player in Fred Payne who's capable of like getting 30 in a game. They don't turn the ball over a lot. They play at a slower pace so they can slow the game down, and they're big enough to slow the game down. So it's a lot of stuff that they can do that is scary. They just haven't had the best luck this year. He's a really good coach. Donald Hand been out the last couple games, which was part of that 8-game win streak. He's back now. He played really good against us the first time. So it's a lot. There's a lot that goes into this one. And then, as you get towards the end of the season, these games are desperate for both teams. For us, we're fighting for a lot. They're fighting for a lot and the opportunity in the sense of being able to go to Charlotte, play in a conference tournament. They're right there to be able to do that. So it's not like their season is over. You know what I mean? It's a lot on the line for them too in this game.
You talk about fighting for a lot. Right now, you're projected as a bye in the ACC tournament. Was this what you were expecting coming into this season, or is this more of a surprise where you are now?
No, this is kind of where I thought we could be, and what I thought we could be. I felt like we could be a top six, top team in the conference when everything was said and done. And we aren't there yet because it's like everybody tied between third and ninth. So it's not anything done. We just have to keep taking care of business and keep getting better and finding ways to win. But for me, this was my kind of expectation. So we're in position. That's all you can ask.
It seemed like Trey, given that was his hometown and everything, was playing with an extra edge
Yep.
against FSU.
Yep.
Just how meaningful was that game for him?
This is his first time playing back home. And I don't think he'll ever admit this, but I'm sure Florida State means something to him. Growing up in Tallahassee, going to Florida State University High School or whatever it's called, wearing the same colors, it has to mean something to him. It meant something to him to be back and play in front of his family, but I'm sure playing against Florida State meant something to him too. So I was a little worried about him because I know how emotional that can be, playing in a game like that before, going back home and playing. And so you never know how it goes. Sometimes you play really good, sometimes you play really bad, but I felt he settled into the game as it got going.
And then these last three games, Trey shot 7 or more threes.
Yep.
Has there been an emphasis on increasing his 3-point volume, or is that just the nature of how he
No, it's been an emphasis. He's one of those guys who have to do it, and a lot of people, the way they're guarding him is leading to him being open, and I think he's a good shooter. And so you got to step in and shoot it with confidence. And we need it. We need somebody that can stretch the floor and need somebody they feel like they have to guard just to open up some of the other things we do. Now, he's not naturally just going to hunt threes. It's not who he is, but we had to kind of instill that in him.
Has there been, I mean, obviously, because the emphasis on your team is the interior, but
Yep.
has there been an emphasis on increasing, like maybe marginally increasing the overall volume of 3-point shooting across the board?
It has been the whole year. That's something I feel like there's a certain number that we should shoot every game. I think about 25 is a good number for us. Somewhere in there, I feel like if we shoot 25 and we shoot the right ones, we can make 8 to 10. And if we're making threes, I feel like we're really tough to guard. And it just game by game it happens, but I think 25 is a good number for us to shoot. But we still have to play to our strengths and play to who we are. You know, we're not going to get out there and start to turn into Alabama these last three weeks. You know, that wouldn't be good, you know, but we do have to be able to take some and shoot and make the right ones, and I think we will. Like, True's made a bunch in the last couple of games. Dante has made a bunch. Malik's banged in a few, and Trey. So, you know, those and Timo, you know, and Shelton can throw one in every now and then when he looks to shoot it. He never looks to shoot it. But, you know, those guys are kind of who are the ones we're relying on to make a few of those.
You talk about Ernest. We've talked a lot about him.
Yep.
I have the past few weeks anyway. But at the end of the game, some of the plays that he made
Yeah.
defensively
Yeah.
and just rebounding.
Yeah. No, I had to get on Ernest at halftime. I thought he was walking around again. I didn't think he was playing to the level and playing how he had been. And he responded in the second half, and he put on a defensive performance. And a big part of the game for us and why we were able to kind of create some separations because we were able to switch with him and put him on McCray. And he was able to guard, and then in the second half he started blocking shots, and that changed the game a little bit more. And so he should be that person at all times. And that's my standard and my goal for him. And I'm going to hold him accountable to that at all times.
And Malik, once again, like
Yeah.
the quiet 23 and 12.
Yeah.
Go home.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, if it wasn't for Cam Boozer, he'll be the player of the year in the conference. His consistency, his impact, his timely scoring. You know, this game he had a timely offensive rebound putback that kind of sealed it for us. But, you know, just his ability to play the game and you look up and you don't realize he's got 21 and 12 or 23 and 12 and it feels like he's got 10 points. That's when you know that's a sign of a good player.
Coach, you mentioned when answering the question about Ernest about the more switching these last couple of games. Why has that been important to kind of adding to what you throw on the defensive end, and what does that offer for you?
You know, it's continuing to give teams different looks so they can't get comfortable in what we're doing. You know, so we got some zone we're playing, some different zones we're playing. We're switching some, we're not switching. We got our base man defense. We're doing some different stuff based on out of bounds defense. So it's just having to give teams different looks and the rhythm, especially when you're playing teams a second time and playing teams, you know, multiple times. They kind of get comfortable to what you're doing and the scouting in the league and everybody talks. So you have to come with a little bit of wrinkles from game to game to just kind of help. Switching's been our wrinkle here the last couple of games. We'll see with Boston College what kind of the wrinkle is. It kind of adapts within the game, to be honest with you. You go out there with a plan, and then you're like, this may not be working today. So then you got to go out and adjust, and that's just part of coaching.
How fun has it been defensively to just switch the way that you have? You've been throwing out, we saw 1-3-1
Yeah.
there one time over the past few
Yeah.
games. How fun has it been defensively just playing around with it?
It's not fun at all. I'm pissed. You know, it's not. I've always been a strictly man-to-man guy, and you guard your yard type of person. But you have to be able to adapt and adjust. You know, this team with our size and our physicality, we can eat up a lot of space in zone. We can do some different things. We are able to switch more than maybe I have traditionally. So me as a coach, I have to be willing to see what I have and do what's best for us to win. And so I'm getting comfortable with it, I guess is the best way to say it. But it is stretching me as a coach to being comfortable with, all right, it's 45 seconds up, we're up 4. Why not play zone or something? You know, that's something in my mind that never crossed my mind, but now got to adapt and adjust.
Got time for a couple more.
But True,
Mhm.
you mentioned him being an X factor. I think it was 11-7 and 4 steals.
Yep.
His importance in the game, do you want him to do more than what he's doing now? It seems like at times he wants to do more, and then it might be a turnover here, a turnover there.
Yeah.
Just, is there a specific role that you want him to have, or just let him do true things?
Let him do true things. And that's what's the best part about True and who he is and why I wanted him here and why he's been a big part of our team and a big part of our success this year, because he can do so many things well. You know, he's like a utility guard. He can play with the ball. He can play without the ball. He offensive rebounds. He gets fouled. He makes shots. He does a little bit of everything, you know. And so for the way the team built, he's perfect for that role in that position because he will play a certain amount of minutes and you look down and he's got 12, 6, and 5. You know what I mean? And then, you know, as some parts of the year I've been able to call plays for him and he's going out and execute. In other parts, it may be a game where it's not a play call game for him necessarily, but he still makes an impact in the game. And so that's just been his best quality is just going out there and trying to do whatever it takes to win.
You chew a lot of gum during the game. Does that ever fall out? And is that just something you've always done? Is that like
Yeah,
a way you calm yourself?
it's kind of a superstitious tick, I
What kind
guess.
of gum is it?
Five gum, five gum, the green kind, I guess. I don't know.
And it never pops out when you're yelling and stuff? You can manage?
Nah, yeah, I've been a gum chewer, I guess, most of my coaching career, so it's never popped out. But I do one to start the game and then a new one to start the half. So it's just kind of a coaching superstition type. Probably means nothing, but in my mind it does.
Does it have to be like a specific type of gum?
This year it has. This year it has. Yep, yep. And it depends on what happens in the game. One time we didn't have the green gum and we had blue gum and we lost, so can't not have green gum anymore. You know what I mean?
But what's the brand?
Five.
Five is the name of the
Yep.
brand?
Mm-hmm.
Five gum.
Yep.
Green.
Yep. It's just a spearmint. It's nothing special.
Okay.
I wouldn't tell you to
Well,
go.
maybe
Yeah, I wouldn't tell you. I'm not gonna tell you to go
That
do
may
it.
be the secret.
No,
Obviously,
I
some
don't know.
coaches are gonna start chewing.
Yeah, nah, I don't think that's it. You know, if I can, the real secret, if I can get us to take care of the ball, then that would be the best secret because we should have won by at least 15 to 20. And for us to win by 10 and still have 18 turnovers and them get 26 points.
Does that surprise you, 18 turnovers? I mean, your team had been taking care of the ball better.
Well, they play such a different brand. And one thing I will say about Florida State and Luke has done a good job of, like, they aren't big inside, but they're big everywhere else. You know, they start 6'5", 6'8", 6'8", 6'9", 6'10". Like, that's a big team, and they switch everything, and they get in passing lanes. They block shots. You know, that's a big part of the turnovers, too. The guards block shots, which is different. And so that was a part of it, but I thought a lot of them were us. You know, if I would say we had a few awful ones against the press, but the other ones were us. And I told the team if we cut that in half, if they get 16 points off of turnovers and we get 9, it's a 20-point game. And we still scored 80, right? 83 with 18 turnovers. Like, should have been a 105-point game almost. So we just got to continue to get better. And when you get down the end and getting into March, those are the three things. You got to be able to control the glass. You got to be able to take care of the ball. And you got to be able to defend without fouling. Those three things are how you're going to win.